Have you ever waited on equipment at the gym and think, I really should ask how many sets they have left, but I don't want to seem like a prick, so instead I'm just going to inconvenience myself and walk around aimlessly. Wait, now I look like a f***ing dumbass. If that self-inflicted ordeal sounds like something you'd think to yourself, then you're probably an introvert like me, trying to overcome their social anxiety. Even if you don't lift, you can probably empathize with my illogical discomfort when asking a grocery store worker for help. This is why socially awkward degenerates like me should watch Komi Can't Communicate, a comedy anime that excellently delivers a wholesome commentary on social anxiety without triggering too much PTSD. The story of Komi Can't Communicate revolves around a pristine girl named Komi, who is revered as a goddess within her classroom of peers. Unknown to her classmates, Komi suffers from a social anxiety disorder that gets misunderstood as her being too cool for conversation, but in actuality, she's just too nervous to communicate with others. One day, a classmate named Tadano notices Komi cannot communicate verbally, and decides to become her first ever friend while eventually discovering her goal to make 100 friends in high school. With this new friendship, Tadano makes it his goal to help Komi find 100 friends while slowly improving her communication skills. Genre-wise, Komi Can't Communicate is a slice-of-life comedy set in a Japanese high school environment. Yes, it's classified as a shonen with romantic elements as well, but the romance never feels like a cheap trick designed to target a demographic, and has a natural progression that fits in the plot of Komi slowly learning to communicate. However, it's the diverse cast of characters that act as the foundation of the narrative, while capturing the anxiety of high school life through hilarious character interactions and running gags. First, there is Komi, a girl who manages to succeed in life through the constant misunderstandings of everyone around her. For example, Komi gets praised by her instructor when asked to read aloud because her silence somehow led him to the epiphany that there is no point in reading aloud, and everyone should read silently on their own. This so-called Komi effect allows her to fail to the top by never failing, and leads Komi to become isolated as her classmates consider themselves as mere peasants in the presence of a god. Next, we have Tadano, who is average by every metric. However, he serves as Komi's interpreter for the other characters of the show, and also gets bullied by everyone around him. Which sounds horrible, but the execution and comedic timing of events manages to make it quite funny. Last, we have Najimi, who can be best characterized as the biggest troll of the show. Unlike Tadano, Najimi is very popular among the class, and has no boundaries when it comes to her schemes. For example, Najimi identifies as a girl, but doesn't hesitate to tell a male friend confessing his love that she is a boy in order to get him to leave. However, Najimi has good intentions when it comes to assisting Komi in unconventional ways, and even acts as a wingman to the hopeless Tadano. On top of Komi being unbelievably misunderstood, Tadano getting constantly shitted on, and Najimi being a playful trickster, there are all sorts of weirdos that gravitate to the group while adding to the running gags of the show. We have a girl whose self-esteem is so low that she acceptantly relegates herself as a dog. A self-proclaimed rival that always manages to lose each encounter of Komi. A delusional girl that pretends to have powers. And most importantly, an insane girl that is obsessed with Komi in a very unhealthy manner. A lot of people will probably not like the crazy yandere girl, but I find her over-the-top absurdity hilarious as she engages in stalking, kidnapping, attempted murder, attempted suicide, and vandalism. Which probably says a little too much about my mental stability, but the point I'm trying to make is that the diverse cast of characters have their own unique quirks that will appeal to some while annoying others, but effectively delivers a comedy as a total package. Overall, Komi Can't Communicate is a comedic story that consistently delivers a diverse array of absurdity through hilarious character interactions, but also sprinkles in a little subtext to the social anxieties and insecurities experienced by each character. Directly adapting an anime from the manga can be tricky, since manga usually has less visual tools that require more expository moments of storytelling. Anime like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manages to circumvent this problem by creating a highly stylized animation with moments of exposition that provide a hilarious campy feel to the show. With that being said, the art of Komi Can't Communicate also directly adapts from its source material, and like JoJo, it It provides plenty of stylized expository moments that add to the fast-paced visual comedy of the show. A lot of the storytelling and humor comes from the text boxes, commonly seen in manga panels, but manages to strengthen the comedic delivery of the show, with dry exposition. Also, I never thought a slice-of-life comedy needed to implement CGI in its animation, but after watching scenes like this, I can totally say it's a welcome addition to a show that already goes beyond expectations with phenomenal 2D animations. Basically, the art style of the show is a juiced-up slice-of-life drama that manages to directly adapt the manga into an anime, with fast-paced comedic exposition familiar to those who watch JoJo. Komi Can't Communicate isn't trying to take a deep dive into the mental psyche of awkward high schoolers. Instead, it's a show that makes you laugh at some hilarious gags, while being a slice-of-life comedy that grounds itself in the relatable theme of social anxiety. What this show lacks for in character development and plot structure, it more than makes up for in playful character interactions and uniquely stylized animations that aids the comedy of the show as much as the dialogue. If a slice-of-life comedy in the vein of JoJo's animation style piques your interest, then I'd highly recommend you give Komi Can't Communicate a watch. However, those watching on Netflix will probably have a less satisfying experience, since they only translate story-relevant text, which ironically gets rid of half of the comedy. So, what I suggest is to legally download a fansub online, but still give the view count on your friend's stolen Netflix account, so we don't end this party at season 1. Anyway, that wraps up my recommendation for this video. I'm off for now. Take care, everybody.
Komi-san? スタメのノーファットミルクピスタチオディープモカディップクリームフラパチーノ with チョコソースのミーディアミニーメニューホイップで買ってきてよ。コミ様の隣の席とかって調子くれてんじゃないわよ。カス馬の雰囲気のあんたがコミ様と同じ空気吸えてるだけでもありがたいってみよう。カスカスカスカス